If you have anxiety dancing on the dance floor, or you want to expand your mindfulness through dance and movements, then I have 3 good tips for you how to expand your awareness through movements. Tip number 1, sit down and begin with your head movements. When you're sitting down, you're limiting your height and your movements with your upper body. So when you stop on the top with your head, you can really just try to be aware of the little movements, the possibilities that the head can do. There's quite a lot of things to do actually. You can go side to side, front, back, in a circle. And in between, if you are aware of the joint movement of the head of your atlas, right? So there's a lot of movements possible. It is only with awareness that the movements become very interesting. So for example, if I do side to the front, to the other side, I did a little rotation there. And then when you combine all of this with your spine and your shoulders, just shoulders and head and shoulders for example, right? So we go here. There's already a lot of movement possible. It's almost infinite possibilities, and then you can also play with the timing and with space around you, coming closer, expanding, and so on and so forth. So the possibilities are quite infinite, but the trick here is to get aware of every movement, because if you're doing things randomly, the perceiver will also receive it as a random act. So the more you are aware of things, the more you make yourself vulnerable to the moment, and there is something to search. I think it's very beautiful to look for, to search for, and try to be in the moment as much as possible. Tip number 2, make your walking aware as possible. In your daily life, when you're walking from A to B, this is something that you can incorporate in your life that becomes more naturally aware of how you walk, how fast you're walking. Can you change the pace of your walking? Do you want to change the pace of your walking? If not, what is the reason that you are not ready to change the pacing? Of course, if you're late, for example, the natural thing is probably to go a little bit faster than usual. I heard once, like, if you're late, you can only come late once, right? So if you're late, then you are already late anyway. So why not take a breather and take a little bit of a pace that it's not stressy, still getting you from A to B, but where you can perceive the surrounding a little bit more, which is, for example, listen to the things that happens around you. Also, the space is changing all the time. If you're walking through something, like through a road, for example, there are spaces that will come into your own space boundaries, which is maybe a car passing by. How does the wind feel on your skin? There are so many things that you can grasp and experience and get more sharper in your how you perceive it. For example, also the air that you're breathing in, that's something that is quite spectacularly different if you start to be aware of it. So imagine a winter wind or a winter air is very different than the wind in summer, which is quite the opposite, but the quality of the air, or like how it tastes, can't be more different than it is, right? So there's so many things to discover, not only your movements. It's a call for play to look around you while you're walking and be aware of your own movements, your own pace, your own mind, your own thoughts, and then everything else that surrounds you as well. The smell, air, and space. Time as well. You can be aware of that as well. All right, so tip number 3, be aware of the spaces around you. So I already mentioned some of this in the second point, but to be more specific, the space around you is, for example, when I'm in this room, this is my flat, right? I have 4 different walls. So there's a wall in front of me, behind you, let's say, you can see the wall behind me, and then there's the wall right and left. And I can feel the distance to the wall, let's say to that wall, right? So that feeling of the wall, I have already felt so much, and I kind of have a feeling of how much meters it is as well, right? So it doesn't have to be super accurate. It's just that feeling. How does 2 meters feel? And if you change, like if I'm coming closer, this distance feels different. So how is this relevant? How can this help with your growth or with your mindset? The thing about space is, the more you are aware of the space around you, the more you become aware of the relationship with yourself, with your own space, with that other space. And then if you go further, there is also the space which is within you, right? So like I have the head, and this is taking up space, but there is also space inside me that is also quite a freaky thing to discover. So that you are not only the things that you perceive, but also you have a space, you have like a very consistent bone mass and mass in general that you carry with yourself all the time. And then how you deal with that space within you, that's also a very, very big key to develop a more healthier and more beneficial relationship with your own space within you. If you're interested to hear more about performing arts tips, then make sure to subscribe to my channel. So if you're interested for a tutorial, you can leave a comment down below. Just write hell yeah, and I will know that you are ready for a tutorial. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. And if you have any ideas what you want me to talk about concerning performing arts, if you have any questions, leave them also in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day, have a good night wherever you are. I leave you with a digital half-half. Alright, see you next time. Bye.